Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the Marvel Legends, the Spider-Man retro-carded Agent Venom Flash Thompson. And we're going to take a look at this guy. We're going to see what he comes with. We're going to get him out of this plastic prison because toys are meant to breathe and be played with. So we're going to take a look at everything he comes with, which is a couple hands, a couple guns. We're not going to leave those guns on him because they're just really not that good. But we're going to take a look at the mask there, and then we're going to take a look at the actual Flash Thompson head. Or maybe we're going to see if it works as a Fred head. Now you're saying, what? Fred? Who the hell is Fred? Fred from G.I. Joe right here. And we're going to see if he works with this Crimson Guard and see if we can put this head on it. And then we can just have the regular Venom head on there and see how this works, doing a nice little kit bashing. I have a feeling that we're going to need a little bit of sticky tack for the head, but that's not a problem. We're collectors. We should have that lying around. But anyway, let's get into this figure. We'll see everything that he comes with. As you can see, this is the way that he's packaged. It's got a nice hard card. So if you do collect it on card, you don't have to worry being all bent up like the original, not the original, but the first wave of the G.I. Joe retro carded figures. On the back, you got this pretty cool cross-sell that you see everyone that's in the wave. And again, there is Agent Venom. But you know what? I'm tired of looking at myself back at my phone, and you're probably tired of looking at me. You want to see how this guy looks, how he articulates, what he comes with, and you also want to see how this head is going to look on that Crimson Guard as a Fred. So you know what? Let's get into it. But before we do, if you like this type of content, you like Marvel Legends, hell, maybe you like kit bashing, see if we can make a G.I. Joe, take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a Marvel Legends video. All right, so I got the figure open, and I always like to look at the accessories first. But as I was looking at him quickly, and I was looking at this head sculpt, I gotta say, that looks like Aaron Eckhart from The Dark Knight. Batman The Dark Knight. Tell me if you agree with that. Again, it does look like a Fred head, and that's what we're going to go with. But yeah, I just looked at it, I'm like, man, he looks like someone, and it took me a second to figure it out. So anyway, he does come with this Marvel Legends blaster. There's no port for blast effects. It is a laser rifle. I think we can kind of tell. It's fairly flexible, I guess you could say. I wouldn't call it rubberized. You can see that this piece right here is bent a little bit. I'm never going to use this. It's just not a really good looking rifle. But if you like it, we'll take a quick look at it here. So we got the trigger guard. You got your trigger. There's your grip. A little bit of detail on it. You got your nice little stock right here. There's your barrel. Again, I'm not really sure. Is it going to fire from there? Is it going to fire from there? Hard to say. This almost looks like Flash's, the lower half looks like Flash's weapon from G.I. Joe. That makes sense. It's got a little scope on it. Again, it's not an awful weapon, and if you don't care about weapons, no big deal. Play with it. It's yours. No one's going to come and take it. Here's his laser pistol. This is going to be holstered, but I'll probably replace it with another one if I have an extra pistol that I can use. Again, same type of tip, which is kind of this rectangle. Trigger guard, I guess the little trigger there. The grip is very similar, so you can tell that they designed them to look the same just to go with each other. He's got 3 pairs of hands, so we have the extra fist hands. All we're going to get is this little guard up here, painted white. Everything's all molded in black. Doesn't look bad. It should pop on nice and easy, and we'll swap out the hands. And here's the other one. And then he has this open hand, and as you can see, it's kind of clawed. So that looks decent. Again, it still leaves the white on it. Not bad, not bad at all. Depending on what you're going to use this guy for. And again, I review action figures, not the lore that they come from. So here you have a Venom mask that looks very Spider-Man-esque. You got the white around the eyes. I guess a little bit of paint rub right there. I'm probably going to be stripping a lot of this off. He's going to go work with, well, he might work, I might have him go with Serpentor. I might actually keep him with my Marvel Legends. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to be playing around with this guy. But again, it is a nice looking Spider-Man / Venom mask. All right, nothing too much, very sleek. I don't mind it. Well, it's what's going to be on him. Well, at least it's what I think is going to be on him. So, all right. So here is our Flash Thompson Agent Venom. I know nothing about the lore, so I'm not going to try and act like I do. All right. So we got the nice face sculpt. And I think this head sculpt is really good. The hair looks good. All right. The way you can see the different strands that run through it, it gives it a nice shading from the light. Where if it was just flat or very smooth, you wouldn't see that. But you see a lot of shading throughout this. And again, I think they did a really good job. You kind of see it folding back here. In the back, you can see it's just kind of layered. Seems like maybe it's been a little while since he's gotten a haircut. Nice part down the side. He's got these nice blue eyes. All right. You look at that note. The lips have a little bit of paint. Ears look good. Nose is good. Again, I can't not see Aaron Eckhart now. And I hope you guys can't either, because I have to. All right, here's the big spider on the front of him. He has I guess a chin guard here. He's got some spiked pauldrons. Probably going to cause some issues when it comes to posing him, getting that T-pose, but we'll cross that path when we get to it. It looks like he has a diaphragm cut. The paint on the buckle, just that one little bit of silver, just really makes it pop. I've mentioned this so many times in my reviews. Once you get this nice little silver, just that paint there, it makes it pop. And the fact that it's just not white, it really works. And you can see the buckle right there. It does look like it's a real belt. And it looks like it's running through loops. So I've been reviewing the original G.I. Joe figures, the classic O-rings, and I keep mentioning that, how far that goes. 3 little pouches on this side and 3 pouches on that side. Running down the side, it's got some scales. I guess I should have mentioned the gauntlets here, all spiked. So, I mean, this guy is ready for action. Again, I don't know the lore in him, so don't get mad at me. Again, I'm reviewing action figures, not the lore and how they fit in. All right, so right here, looks like they just gave him 2 straps that go around his leg. I'm not sure if there's a reason for that. Pinless joints on both the elbows and the knees, which is nice. I'm assuming he's a new sculpt. And then even all the way down to the boots, we can see the spikes that just kind of run through. And I do like these boots. I like the guard that's around it. All right. And here's his holster. Now this one actually makes sense because we're going to holster his pistol. On the back, we got the spider again. So again, you know this is Venom. Maybe you want it to be your Spider-Man. Again, it's your toy. You do what you want to do. All right. So we'll take a look at his head, and he can. His head can't look up that much. He can look down, and obviously side to side. His T-pose. We have to move the gauntlets up out of the way. And then you can get a nice little T-pose out of this figure. So it's actually not bad. This is pliable enough to get it out of the way. You got your bicep swivel, pinless double joints, and the guy is actually really smooth so far. No issues there. He's got the diaphragm cut, so it's going to move completely around. Again, I think some figures should have an ab crunch. The fact that he has a spider on it, once you move him like this, it breaks it. Where if he had an ab crunch, you wouldn't see it as much. Small little gripe there. And is he not? So he does not turn at the waist. Wow. So here's this belt that you'd have to cut off if you wanted to. And I was assuming there would be a waist cut, but it looks like this body piece is all one mold. I don't know why you would do that. Once again, I mentioned about the G.I. Joe Classified, out of the same company. Wow, that takes away a lot of articulation. I guess he can bend down that far and he can bend back up. And he can swivel, but he's swiveling at the rib cage. So, all right. There is his Jean-Claude Van Damme. Not that bad. They don't have drop-down hips. Again, not the worst thing in the world. He's got a thigh cut there, which does break up the... it definitely does break up the white there, but I'd rather have that just to pose him a little bit better. Double pinless knees, which he gets a really good pin right there, or a really good bend. No boot cut. Now, I don't know why Marvel Legends doesn't do boot cuts somewhere. I guess I can understand. Maybe it breaks up the aesthetics. But man, you lose a lot of posability when you do that. And then you have these ankle rockers. And not the greatest articulation. This piece probably prohibits it. Causes some problems. I don't think it's going to be a problem to get them posed. But again, that's something that it does take away. Alright. Let's pop this head off, and we can see that this ball joint is going to be bigger than this ball joint. So we'll see how that fits on the head. I actually removed this already because for some odd reason the original Crimson Guard, every time I pop off the head, this piece actually comes off. It's the only figure that I have that does that. So we're going to drop on this Spider-Man head, Venom head, which now looks kind of small, and you can still only look up that far, and that's very disappointing because you want this guy kind of slinging around, right? As for the hands, pop off real easy. We'll kind of throw on this hand right here like he's in attack mode here, because who doesn't want this guy in some sort of attack mode? We'll take our pistol, slap that down here. No problem putting the weapon in his hands. As you can see, the finger goes through the trigger. Please don't pose your figures without doing that. Oh, God. I mean, you can pose it. Just don't post pictures. All right. And I guess we can go for some sort of firing pose here. The other hands are much easier, where you just pry open and then they hold on to the weapon. So you're able to pose this guy fairly good. I don't think it's gonna be too big of too hard there. Can we get him on one foot, kind of in a running pose here? Anytime you do a running pose, yeah. Now, if their ankles don't go far enough, you're gonna be really hard pressed to get them into that one-legged running pose, and I have a feeling this guy's just... Oh, there we go. We can get him on one leg, so... If you want... Unfortunately, he can't look like he's looking up, but I got him on one foot fairly easily. And even knocking on this, he doesn't come off. Alright. So there's your Agent Venom. Alright, swap the heads off. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this guy. And once again, we're trying to recreate this look right here. And we're going to see if this actually works. So once you pop the head on, obviously it is way too loose. The neck seems a little long, but we can always, we can deal with that. We can always shave it down a little bit. Hell, to be honest, this thing comes off so easily. I could I could just kind of pop that on top of it and create enough sticky tack to lift it. But what I'm talking about with sticky tack is, here you go. And again, you can get this anywhere, any drugstore, any, I almost said Kmart. I don't know why I would have said almost said Kmart, but Target, Meijer, if you have Meijer, obviously Walmart. So kind of pop that on there, and his head, yeah, it's a little too long, to be 100% honest. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of work on that to get this to look right. But this is kind of what I was looking for. Just have a nice Fred head, just kind of right there. Now that neck peg is just so big. I'm gonna show you what I mean by this. Once I pop this head back on here, it comes right off. I had to heat this up and pull that off. So he actually looks better like that, but what we're going to do is take a bunch of sticky tack. Just kind of put that thing right up there. I know, that's what she said. And now you have a pretty good Aaron Eckhart as Fred for the G.I. Joe movie, and that's right. That is exactly how he is going to be looking, as I have multiple Crimson Guard. I know a lot of people were wondering if this works. Well, I think if you make sure you don't have that on there, you're going to be able to create a pretty good Fred head right there. And again, he comes with his own secondary head, so you don't have to worry about having just some Agent Venom just flown around. But you know what, I have a whole bunch of Operation Monster Force figures, and their heads fit on these things, so who knows? Maybe there'll be some major kitbashing in my home. So there you go. That's it. With this figure, if you have multiple Crimson Guards, you now have a Fred from G.I. Joe, and you also have your Agent Venom. 2 for 1, but not really. You guys get the idea. Let's wrap this up. Alright, so there you go. That is your Marvel Legends Agent Venom review. Again, if you're new to the channel and you're like, why did you go through all this? I like to show people exactly what a figure is right out of the box. Whether or not it's going to take you forever to pose him, to get him in great shots, how hard is it, and what the articulation is. There's always new people coming into this hobby. Believe it or not, I know people don't think so, but there's always new people coming in the hobby. That's why you show off the articulation. Well, that's why I show it off. Anyway, there's your Agent Venom, and what a lot of people I know wanted was, as G.I. Joe collectors, there's your Fred head on your Crimson Guard. I think he works really, really well. And again, if you're a Marvel Legends collector, you're going to get a pretty good Agent Venom. He literally fell right in the garbage. Anyway, there's Fred head. Hold on. And there is... I can't believe I did that. There's your Agent Venom. There is his Flash Thompson head on the Crimson Guard. So you can make your own actual action figure. 2 for 1, but not really, because you already had to buy this one. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate you guys sticking with me, especially the new people, maybe Marvel Legends guys that are like, who the hell is this guy? Well, I'm mostly a G.I. Joe guy, or at least that's what people like to say. I don't know. I review all kinds of stuff. But I'm not going to waste any more of your time. But I am going to ask you, because you stayed this long, take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a Marvel Legends video. And just to prove that I don't only do G.I. Joe, up here is going to be a Marvel Legends video that I've done. And here's a playlist of all the Marvel Legends figures that I've reviewed. Take care.